Hello, my friends. I am currently on my nightly, well, I don't do a nightly walk, my daily walk, but it's nighttime now. I try to do at least 2 hours per day. Like I was saying in the last videos, routine, very crucial for this kind of stuff. OCD, chronic pain caused by repetitive thought loops, chronic symptoms. Routine has been good. So even just something like saying, okay, I will walk at least 2 hours today. I was like, wow, now I have that integrated in my day. Because in the beginning, I think it's hard to know when you're just kind of coming out of this. It's like, what do I do with myself now? What is there to do? Obviously, like working and productivity, of course, but in addition to those things. So yeah, I recorded a lot of content yesterday and it was getting way too long. My video, as you saw from yesterday, was already a half hour. So I think I'm going to incorporate some of that in today's content, but I realized I would still need an intro. So this is your intro. I hope you're all doing really well. And if you're not, that's okay too. You're gonna be doing really well soon. A lot of times when I would go to different professionals and then I'd come back like months later or whatever, and they'd ask me how I was doing. And it was still really bad. And in my head, I'd be like, how the hell do you think I'm doing, bucko? But anyways, you will be doing great. So when I ask like, how are you to people, I always like to clarify that, because a lot of times too, even though I might be thinking that in my head, I would be like, yeah, like pretty good, things have been cool. And meanwhile, you're at home like being tortured to death. So anyways, this will be the intro, I guess. And all right, I guess we'll leave this off here. Talk to you guys soon. Of the avoidance behaviors, like for example, I would do some of this stuff, but again, I'd either be miserable doing it or I had to stop doing it completely, because again, it was not fun for me when every thought was getting redirected to my breathing and my throat and that whole area, and it's like a barrage of this, and it's not fun. It's not fun. And so, yeah, I had avoided a lot of stuff, like sitting was really hard for me. Like sitting, even things I had to start practicing again were like being able to watch a movie. That was so hard. My first experiment with that of going to the movies was actually going to see the Barbie movie. Luckily, I had the OCD psychologist like supporting me through it, and it was really hard. I went with my friends, but I went to do that twice, with them and then with my mom, and it was so hard, but the point is you're doing it, which is exciting. You're starting to get that feeling of like empowerment back. So yeah, just like sitting, even driving I would do it, but it was so hard and I would avoid it sometimes. It's because all the focus was here for so long. Yeah, speaking I would do, sometimes I would talk a lot, but I would get to the point where it was so excruciating that it makes you not want to do it again. So there are other periods where I would just be writing things like back and forth to the people I was with, or making drawings, and yeah, so just, starting to engage in the activities again, but like Amanda Ashley said, no pushing, just recognizing you can do it. You just have to go a little slower so that you're not getting to the points I was getting at, where I would be like talking so much that, oh man, like if you have not experienced that type of physical sensation here, which is not just, again, a regular sore throat, it's the like TMS, etc. loop sore throat, that is rough. But starting to like engage in knowing that it's okay to do that again. there were so many things I'll probably do future lists of just stuff like, oh, just sitting at a computer or like working on a document or something like that I couldn't even think of. Reading, that was one of my first sessions, was like practicing reading again. Yeah, which is really cool because, like I said, that I'm an English major nerd. That was one of my favorite things to do, and it's really cool I got to do it again. Writing, I remember when I was in this loop, like even just writing a sentence of like, the cat sat in the hat. That felt impossible. It felt so impossible. And now I've always loved writing. It's my job once again. I got to write for work, and I've written like, in a few months, I've written like 130 pages, even if I don't do anything with this particular writing. I've just been writing so much about like this experience and the past year and a half, which has been this whirlwind of traveling the world, and it's still been like, parts of it have been so hard, but you're all gonna start to do that again. Just knowing that, I think finally having the awareness that this is like a real thing, it really affects people. Having my fantastic psychologist say like, Christine, you know, this type of stuff, people go like homeless from it, and I think having someone acknowledge how bad the suffering can be from it and helping you to see that, and that like, you're not, like I keep repeating, like, you're not crazy. This stuff is really intense. I think having that acknowledgement and having someone say like, none of this, you know, this was not your fault, that's huge. And I don't share this stuff to say how intense it is to scare people. It's just to say that you're not alone. I think that's the main message by sharing some of these stories that I'd want to convey. Like, you're not alone, and you're gonna get better. It's just recognizing some of the behaviors and habits we've been engaging in. Knowledge therapy, like John Sarno talks about all the time, and you know, everyone who's amazing in that whole field, the knowledge therapy of what's actually been going on with you. And again, like I said, when you're in this loop, you can kind of see it. There are periods I'd say like, I think this is OCD, but then the condition will cause all this doubt to seep back in, which again, fascinating. Yeah, it's such like a puzzle, a debacle, like I said yesterday, that it then will make you doubt that you have this, and it will suck you right back in and like make you then focus on another symptom or another person to call. When the thing is, if we just stop, there's a great Bob Newhart video, Stop It. I know Dr. Joe's team will play that at like some of their trainings, and it's so good. But if we stop some of those behaviors, stop it. And it's much easier said than done, but we would start to become well again. So yeah, there's a lot you can do. Even this little number today, this little tennis outfit, that same friend who was planning all these awesome travels, at some point when I was, you know, starting to recover, she suggested we do like a tennis day themed weekend in New York City. And when I was really going through this, even the thought of like being in a store, I would do it sometimes, but it was so hard. You feel like I think my friend, it was a good description. He's like, I felt like I was on Mars when I started going out again. Like it feels weird. But yeah, even just going to a store to pick up this little, like I said, this little number, this tennis outfit, that started to be fun and exciting again. And at first, all of these activities, it's gonna feel terrible maybe. The stuff will probably be there. Maybe the thoughts will be there, but the more you start to do it and to know what's actually going on and know what's happening here, it will start to feel normal. And we stop, and sometimes we get discouraged because we're like, when? But if we keep up with that consistency and the messages of safety, from, you know, maybe listening to people who have gone through it themselves, or just working with like one person or even just a few who can really listen to our stories and offer that reassurance because we're human, not like constant reassurance, but just like a little bit of safety and help us feel safe. Okay, I realize I'm also gonna need a conclusion, so I guess I'll just film the conclusion here. Cobble something together for you, but I hope that you all are going to have a really, really fantastic night, day, afternoon, morning, whenever you're watching this. And remember, like I keep saying, and it's true, you are going to get 100% better physically and mentally. You are. It takes time. It's normal if it takes a lot of time or if it feels challenging. It's normal. And I am super, super proud, like I always say, of all of you or anyone who is going through this stuff and just like working to get better. It's pretty inspiring. So anyways, I hope to talk to you guys soon, and I am giving you a big hug. Oh, and I have to say it, if you found this content helpful at all, if you want to like and subscribe, that would be awesome. All right, talk to you guys soon.